So you want to become a bug bounty hunter, but you want to know where to study and what to learn. That is going to be the purpose of this video. There are quite a few videos out there, including some of my own, where I kind of just tell you what you need to know in order to become a bug bounty hunter, but I don't actually show you where you need to go in order to learn all of this specific information. And that's what I'm going to show you in this video. Is I'm going to leave all of the links in the description down below, and then I'm going to walk you through what order I think you need to go through in order to fast track your way to becoming a bug bounty hunter, with all of the resources that I think I would have wanted myself to have if I were to start over. First thing you're going to need to know if you want to be a bug bounty hunter is web development basics. You're going to need to know some basic HTML. You don't really need to know CSS, but you're going to learn it along the way as you play around with HTML, and then you're going to need to know some JavaScript. You can learn some of the basics here on my YouTube channel, and those thumbnails will look like this, and you can check those out. They'll kind of walk you through the basics of what I think you need to know in order to get started in bug bounty. But if you want to go beyond the basics and more than just these few hours in learning JavaScript and HTML, then you can check out this right here. This is the complete 2023 web development. This is Angela Yu. I think she has the best and cheapest programming training that is complete on the internet. And so if you want to learn like full stack web development, which I think is really unnecessary if you want to be a bug bounty hunter, this is going to be the place. She will walk you through HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and web design, as well as setting up databases, linking them to a backend server. It's going to take you through everything you need to know in order to become a web developer, which I really think is unnecessary. But if you want to deep dive, you can buy that course and you can check out just the parts that you're interested in or that you think you need to know in order to be a bug bounty hunter. I would suggest starting out with what's free here on my YouTube channel, and if you're more interested in that, then go out and buy her course and work through that in order to get really good at the basics of web development. And the next thing I am always getting asked is, what programming language should I learn? And we just talked about JavaScript, and I'm going to say JavaScript is what you're going to want to know so you can read through the code and you can de-obfuscate it and kind of figure out what functions are doing. In the world of ethical hacking, Python is going to be really popular, and for some reason I get asked often about learning C and C++. I would stay away from those altogether. You can do JavaScript, and then once you learn JavaScript, Python is going to be really easy. So if you spend 3-6 months going through complete web development, 3-6 months, you'll be able to go through pretty much that entire thing. And then if you want to learn Python, it'll take maybe 3 to 4 weeks for you to have a really good handle on Python, because it's really simple, and if you can code in JavaScript, Python is going to be really easy for you. So if you want to learn a programming language outside of JavaScript, I would suggest Python. And you can actually check out this video right here. It is free here on YouTube, and I walk you through all of the Python I think you need to know for a career in cybersecurity. We avoid a lot of the stuff I think you don't need to know that you're going to learn in any kind of Python course, such as one on Udemy, such as creating classes and objects and linking back-end databases and creating websites with Python. Like, we skip all of that because you don't need to know any of that in order to be a bug bounty hunter. So this course right here will just take you through the basics of Python, and they'll take you up to speed to where you're probably about an intermediate without learning the stuff you don't really need to know. So if you want to learn Python, you can check that out, and there's a couple of good resources for you. You can also check out Angela Yu's Python course if you want to go through her 100 days of Python. If you do this, you're going to have to learn how to link databases and create Python websites and other things like that really isn't necessary if you want to be a bug bounty hunter. So if you want to be a bug bounty hunter, don't just learn how to code. While you're learning to code, I would suggest just doing it in Linux, and you can learn the basics of Linux right here on Try Hack Me. So you have Linux Fundamentals 1 and 2 and 3. This is going to give you a really good handle on Linux. So don't just focus on coding if you want to be a bug bounty hunter, because you're going to get bogged down and thinking, this is really boring, I'm tired of learning to code, I just want to get to hacking. So code, and then also learn the basics of Linux and some basic exploits. And so you can start with Linux right here, and as soon as you finish Linux, I would suggest going over to Burp and start learning the basics of Burp. You're going to need to know repeater, and intruder is not quite as necessary unless you're going to do a lot of brute forcing, which you're not going to do. But come over here and go through the basics of Burp. That will be really helpful. Also, once you think you're ready to start learning some exploits, then you can check out my complete bug bounty course right here. You can also find the link down in the description description where I'm going to walk you through from setting up a virtual machine all the way through finding bugs on different bug bounty platforms. But if you don't want to follow along with any structured course, before I list out all of the things you need to know and where you need to go to learn them, I just want to start out by saying if this list sounds like a lot and it sounds like you're just never going to be able to do it, trust me, with a little bit of time and some hard work, you will be able to get there. So now, if you don't want to follow along with any of my courses, I'm going to list out the things you need to know and where I think the best resources are for you to go in order to learn them. So I'm going to read off my list here. You're going to need to learn web development, and I already shared where you need to learn that. You're going to need to understand the basics of Linux, and you're going to be able to find that over here on Try Hack Me. You will also need to learn basic web exploits, and one of my favorite places for this is Portswigger right here. You can find walkthroughs for all of their exploits, and this is going to be totally bug bounty focused or web application penetration testing focused, and so this is going to be a really great place for you to practice. There's so many labs over here, and it's all free, and you can find walkthroughs and explanations of stuff here on their website and also on YouTube as well. So Portswigger is going to be a really great one. You can also come over to Nodus, and they have Over the Wire, and you can do each one of these levels right here, and you can walk through the basics of their web application testing as well. It's going to be really helpful for you. You can go to Hack the Box and just look at boxes that focus on getting code execution or remote file inclusion, local file inclusion, and just do some of those easier boxes. And you will have to Google which boxes are going to focus on web application testing in order to do that. You can also try the Hack the Box Bug Bounty Program course. I wouldn't necessarily suggest starting out there because it's going to cost a lot of money, and there's a ton of free great resources that you can use before you get to that point. And if you want something that's going to walk you through Nodus and is going to walk you through Try Hack Me, and you want something that's going to help walk you through the Portswigger labs that we have right here, you can follow along with this course. I know I've mentioned it before, but I really do walk you through all of this. Then I encourage you to try them, and if you get stuck, I have the video there to help you. If you are wanting to do this completely on your own, you should be moving on to looking at iDoors, and probably one of the best places to practice iDoors is going to be over here on Try Hack Me, and we can just go to Juice Shop. And a Juice Shop is going to be a great place to practice iDoors. You can probably just type in iDoor, and I bet there will be an iDoor lab over here. This will be a really great place for you to practice iDoors. Once you have done iDoors, you'll want to do like logic errors or business logic errors or something along those lines, which you can also find on Juice Shop. It looks like they don't have any focused just on that on Try Hack Me, but you're going to want to focus on like basic errors that programmers made when they launched the app. So from there, you can do cross-site scripting. At this point, you will probably have a pretty good handle on some JavaScript and HTML, specifically HTML and a little bit of JavaScript, especially if you're doing any kind of JavaScript courses along with learning bug bounty hunting. And you can practice your cross-site scripting. You can practice it here on Juice Shop as well. And over here, you can learn about cross-site scripting inside of Try Hack Me. It'll be a really great place to practice, as well as Portswigger. If we look at their cross-site scripting right here, they have a bunch of cross-site scripting for you to practice. So there is just a ton of it. So cross-site scripting would be next. And the next thing I would suggest is going to be external entity injection. So XXE for short. So you have it right here. And you can practice these here. They're pretty simple to get a handle on. I bet you that Try Hack Me probably has something on this as well. You can practice these. They're going to be pretty easy and very basic, but people still do find these in the wild. Next, I would suggest checking out file upload. So you can do file upload. Here, let's try file upload. You'll be able to do file upload here. I think you could just type in upload, and there might be some extra labs. These upload vulnerabilities. You can also do some file upload on Hack the Box. They have a few really great places to practice at. I'm not sure if Portswigger has file upload, but we can check for upload. It doesn't look like they have. They do. They have file upload vulnerabilities. So you can practice file upload right here, uploading web shells and things along those lines. But then you're also going to want to check for RFI and LFI. So if we type in LFI, Try Hack Me is going to be the best place to practice LFI and RFI. And then also, while you're practicing the file inclusions, you should check for SSRF. And this is kind of just the order that I think logically will help you learn to become a bug bounty hunter. So at the point where you reach SSRF and you've done remote file inclusion and local file inclusion, you're going to know what you need to do next. So you'll kind of find your little niche after you've learned what I have listed here and you've gone out to these places and practiced them. You'll kind of figure out what you need to do next and you'll know what you're interested in. And so I don't really need to keep on listing out a bunch of vulnerabilities. If you learn everything that I've listed right here in the past minute, then you will have a really good foundation to continue building on. Okay, so certifications. I am regularly getting asked about certifications for bug bounty hunting. I personally would not take any certification or any course for bug bounty hunting because it is something you can learn totally free. You have a ton of resources that I just listed off for you. There's a ton of stuff here on YouTube or Udemy that just focuses on bug bounty hunting that will be really helpful for you, and you don't really need to pay any money or very little money just for subscriptions to TryHackMe or HackTheBox in order to learn everything you need in order to be a bug bounty hunter. If you want to get any kind of a bug bounty certification, I would suggest only doing this if you want to be a web application penetration tester for a company in the future. Then the certifications might help you in the future, but really what's going to help you the most is just learning and going out and finding valid bugs on live programs. Because if you apply to a company saying you found valid bugs, here's the reports, it's going to look a lot better than having some kind of bug bounty hunter certification. So I really don't suggest getting any kind of certifications unless you want to work for a company as a penetration tester. And my last tip is to go out and read the hacktivity on HackerOne. Just go out and read valid bug reports. Maybe you're learning about iDoors. So you go to HackerOne, you go to the hacktivity, and you read all about iDoors. And if there's anything you don't understand or you're not understanding how they got the exploit to work, then go to Google and try to read about it, or whatever terminology that you're not understanding. Make sure you go and Google it so that way you know exactly what's going on. If you have any additional information that helped you in finding your first valid bugs, please let us know down in the comments below. Thanks for watching.